Nvidia has been on a tear recently, and especially today, we got some big news, and the stock this morning was at $403, rallied throughout the whole entire day, and is continuing to do so in the after hours to $443, hitting 10% of highs today. This morning, we received our first piece of good news, which is from an analyst saying that there's a good entry point to buy into Nvidia stock right now, as they see numbers are going to go up from here. And just a quick reminder that earnings will be coming out on August 23rd after hours. Then later on in the morning, after the stock, started to really take off, we saw another piece of big news coming out from MarketWatch, which just basically put out a top 20 spotlight companies looking at 2024 earnings estimates and how much they're rising, basically. And of course, Nvidia had made that list. But then the big one came out around noon today, and look at this. 12:14, Nvidia shares are trading higher in strength than the Nasdaq. Also, Morgan Stanley analyst says the recent sell-off is a good entry point. After that was said, let's go to 12:15, and boom. From here on up, we had a strong afternoon. This is the type of information that you just got to watch out for during the day. If you see good bullish news, especially from an analyst from Morgan Stanley, that's a good entry point, not only to look for the short term for a trade, but also potentially for the long term too. The next piece of big information we received is the Third Point, which is a large hedge fund out of New York City. They basically put a $500,000 stake in Nvidia. And on top of that, how could we forget our buddy Jim Cramer, of course, had to discuss a little bit of what his views were on the company, and 3 months might be enough to analyze how the company is doing, but not always how a stock is doing. So of course, he always has to have his own controversial take on big stocks like this. So that obviously let it run too, because the inverse Cramer ETF is always a good winner. But honestly, if we pull out a little bit to the past couple weeks, yeah, the stock has pulled back from highs around 480, pulled all the way down to lows today at 403 before bouncing. But this 180-day red SMA line right here is a good a good sign that we could see a significant turnaround if we can hold above this line, which is that 440 area. So I really do believe that if we can hold above the 440 area going into tomorrow and even Wednesday, I think that this stock does have a lot more room to run later in this week. But for the long term, this is a stock you want to own. This is a stock you want to get in now before we get above $500, because look at the past several months leading up to this point, even the past several weeks. I mean, you could see that since May, June timeframe, we have run up from $200, $300, even $400, almost hitting that $500 area before pulling back. And I think this is the last one before earnings. Earnings is going to completely skyrocket this thing to the moon. And I don't think we're going to see it back below $400, even $450 for a while once we jump over this area. I think that we're going to 480. We're going to break through that level during earnings time frame on August 23rd after hours. And I think that this is gone. 500 and above, all-time highs. I think we're hitting it by the end of August. Guys, let me know what you think about this stock in the comments below. I am bullish on Nvidia. I think this is a great one in the short term right now for the next couple weeks leading up to earnings. I think this is a play that you want for the short term to play up to earnings, and also for the long term post earnings to have this in your account before this thing takes off and gets above $500 per share. And then you know what happens? Stock splits. Guys, let me know if you want to talk about stock splits in the next video. I think that Nvidia may be due for one if we get above $500. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.